What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
And now, broadcasting from the cow capital of the West and home of the world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale, it's time for Rodeo Randy on KYUS 92.3 and KMTA 1050 AM. Now, let's saddle up and ride. Here's Rodeo Randy.
Thanks, John. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Rodeo Randy Show, broadcasting from the banks of the Yellowstone and home of the Miles Community College men and women's rodeo team. Well, that's a hint who my special guest is today. But before I introduce him, just a reminder, our show is streamed live worldwide on 92.3 KYOS and 1050 AM KMTA. And we have our shows on the Rodeo Randy Show at Rodeo Randy Show YouTube, so you can listen to our shows anywhere, anyplace, anytime. Well, let me give you some quick rodeo roundup updates. Sage Newman, our saddle bronc rider, is number 7 in the world, standing with over $180,000 won so far. Lisa Lockhart is number 8 in the WPRA standings with over $111,000 won. And Haven Medjit, our local tie-down roper, world champion, is currently number 3 in the world with over $200,000. And, of course, he's only $18,000 out of first place for that top spot, getting down to the National Finals Rodeo. And, of course, Haven's wife, Shelby Medjit, she's number 5 in the world standings in the breakaway roping. And, of course, she's the reigning world champion. Now, we only have until September 29th for the Cowboys and Cowgirls to qualify for the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. That's December 5th to the 14th. As we get closer to the last week, we will give you who's in and who's out heading into the national finals. Of course, this year the national finals will have a record-setting payout of more than $11.5 million. And if you win the round out in Las Vegas, you get $30,000, almost $31,000 in fact. And if you win the average at the end of the rodeo, you win over $78,000. So that's great to see all this kind of money coming in for our Cowboys. So it was a big jump since we first started down in Las Vegas in 1985. My special guest today is a professional cowboy from Baker, Montana, a member of the PRCA, PBR, a bullfighter, in fact, the Montana Bullfighter of the Year, a flankman, and the head coach of the Miles Community College Pioneer Rodeo Team, Coach Sylvan LaCross. Coach, thanks for coming in today, and on behalf of myself and the town of Miles City, it's a great honor.
Thanks, Randy. I really appreciate it.
Speaking of college, do you have a workout regimen that you have?
Yeah, I stay fairly regular in the gym. It's a little tough at times, especially when back and forth, but packing feed bags every morning, that'll help get your arms and your back built up. Staying busy as I was doing pretty good staying in shape. So now it's slowing down a little bit now that we're back in college season, but now I got a gym every day I can get to.
Where did the summer go? We got the rodeo starting this weekend, and of course, if you're wondering, today is Friday. The rodeo starts in Powell, Wyoming today, but you're a couple of days early before the rodeo.
Yeah,
to get our listeners. So thanks for coming in early. But anyway, let's talk about it. The summer's gone. The college is already starting. Fall rodeo starting. So let's give a little shout out to people getting ready down there at the rodeo. Your kids now. When did practice start for you guys?
We actually started last week. School starts a week early this year, so we started school before Labor Day. Kind of threw a kink in some scheduling, but we practiced 3 days. The kids went rodeoing. I was rodeoing over Labor Day weekend. Got back. We practiced yesterday. We'll practice again today, and then we'll practice a little bit Thursday morning and take off and get to Cody and kick it off at 9 a.m. for the first rodeo of the year.
So then after this weekend, you got to go to Glendive.
Yeah, that'll be a nice little short drive.
Yeah.
Be pretty easy. It'll be good to kind of almost feel hometownish. We get enough people from Miles City come up and support the team up there, so it's a great rodeo. They didn't have one last year just due to some scheduling conflicts, so it'll be nice to go back to Glendive this year for the Dawson County.
Yeah, now I'm a graduate of Dawson College, so I hope those guys in Miles City here don't hold it against me.
Well, not yet, but we'll keep that in mind.
You ain't going to throw me on a bull, are you?
No, not yet. We've got a few coming.
You call me Scaredy Cat. Hey, we talked about it earlier. When you're fighting bulls, I know I hate to jump topics here, but does the name of a bull have concern for you? Like, say, Powder Puff comes out of the chute versus Killer Kowalski?
No, because I've actually been around some that have had some just really low-key names, and other ones are, Little Blondie. And Little Blondie can actually be a mean Little Blondie some days. So you just kind of keep that in mind. They're just like you and me. We can be pretty good-natured most days, and we don't sleep good one night, and we're not so good the next day. So you got to take everyone as a new bull and take them jump for jump and fight them as you need to and stay aggressive.
Yeah. What's it take to be a bullfighter down at the National Finals Rodeo?
Well, it takes a lot of traveling, a lot of scheduling to be at some of those bigger rodeos, and then it actually comes down to the top guys in the world will vote on you to be into the second round of guys, and then they'll narrow it down to the top 3 with an alternate position. So It's a lot of voting. You hope you're in the right spots. You're doing a great job. The Cowboy Channel exposure sure helps.
Oh, that's amazing. Nominations again this year for the Montana Circuit Bullfighters?
Yes, sir. I actually just got a phone call this morning that I was selected to go back for my second bullfighting escapade there at the circuit finals. So it's pretty cool to mark that goal off again.
Wow.
I wanted to go back as a flank man and a bullfighter one year, and we got it done. So it's pretty
congratulations.
exciting.
Breaking news, Coach LaCross.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So when is the circuit finals?
It'll be in January. I don't remember the dates yet because that's still a few months out, and I got a lot of time between there. But, pretty exciting.
Well, absolutely, yes. And then, you mentioned a flankman. I think I mentioned that earlier. But so, how tough it is to be a flankman?
Yeah, it's fun. It's exciting. It gets rid of the itch that I have every once in a while to be a bareback rider again, like I used 2 years ago.
That's right.
But I'm very grateful for the opportunity to work with J-Bar J, flanking horses for those guys. They've got an amazing set that, I get to now develop. We bring the younger ones down here for our practices, and I get to help develop those young ones and then get to go to the NFR and flank the big dogs down there.
Well, yeah, that's enjoyable, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, J-Bar J, that's from my neck of the woods. I'm from Brockway.
Yes, sir. Yep.
One world famous Brockway Dairy Day.
Yes.
All right, let's
yes,
get back to the college rodeo. So now you have some of your graduates have moved on. Can you mention some of the colleges or what they at? I know Sierra.
Yep. I've got one that's down there at Bozeman at MSU, and I had 2 graduate from here and go to Chadron, Nebraska. And they'll be rodeoing. They actually kick their weekend off this weekend at their home event. So I just talked to one of them the other day as well. And then I've got a young man that graduated here and is up there at Bismarck rodeoing for the Mystics on their first year having a rodeo team. So look forward to visiting with him and seeing how that's going over there as a new team there.
Okay, and would you like to give us your motto again?
Well, the motto for MCC is start here, go anywhere, and that's what we're setting these kids up to do. I want to give them a good start here, and so far they've all fell right into place where they're going, and it's pretty cool to see them excelling and to be able to watch a few of them in person is going to be really exciting.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, let's talk about some of the new kids you got coming in here, men and women's, and what events that they're going to be participating in.
Yeah, I've got a good crop of freshmen coming in. First couple practices was always that nervous little deal, but they've kind of shaken loose of that. We've had some really great practices the last few days. I've got a couple kids out of North Dakota that have been roping well. A guy and a gal from South Dakota that rope rog hair rides broncs very well, and Josie Menzel is a good breakaway roper, goat tires, so it's pretty exciting to have her on board as well. And then I've got a young man from Canada that's a bareback rider, so it's good to have another Canadian back on the team there. And we've got a few kids from Montana, so it's just we've got kind of a gamut everywhere, and we're a little smaller this year, only have 16 kids, but that's going to allow us to kind of further dive into some different ideas into sponsorships and ways for us to continue making money for these kids to get them better scholarships and more opportunities to bring in clinicians for them to learn more from the top guys in the world.
Yeah, and what's nice about the rodeo, these kids, they can actually ride in other rodeos, earn money other than the college, and doesn't affect their scholarships. It used to be in the old days with the football, now with the NIL money coming in. Does NIL play any part of your rodeo?
Not at this time. The NIRA, the National Intercollegiate Rodeo Association, was set up in a way because rodeo has always been an individual type sport that guys would come in with their own sponsorships because you are out rodeoing. You can be a professional rodeo athlete and a college rodeo athlete at the same time. So some of these kids do come in with sponsorships if they are going to advertise those sponsors, as long as they're not conflicting with the NIRA national sponsors. They'll pay a little patch fee to the main office, and they can sport their brand on their sleeves or wherever else so they've got them, as long as it's approved.
Yeah. So we can get a sponsorship fee versus NIL money, and we're covered.
Yeah, as long as those guys are doing good, and it's good the way those kids get their own money. They get a rep a brand that they find is one that they want to support.
All right, and then each kid can go on their own and find their own sponsors. And so if I hit Powerball, if we had donate you guys a couple of million,
you bet. We can put you right on the sleeve there. Rodeo Randy
show. Right? Okay, well, Coach, rodeo this weekend, next weekend in Glendive. We got new kids coming on. We got to keep and follow them, which we will during the year. And then next thing you know, fall's over, winter's coming, and then spring starts. Spring rodeo.
Buckaroo Bash, for those of you guys that are listening and always coming down to the Buckaroo Bash, it should be February 15th next year. So keep that in mind. advertisements, of course, will be all over the place come time, and then our home rodeo scheduled sometime in April. And this weekend here at Cody, we'll be talking about that with the other coaches, kind of getting our schedule figured out for the spring. So it's ramping up to be a good year, and we're not letting off the gas.
Well, we'll be following you very closely, obviously, and we wish you the guys the best of luck. And then we'll probably in the future get some of your cowboys and cowgirls on the radio here, talk a little bit about barrel racing or bull riding, whatever. And then is Blaine still there with you guys this
No,
year?
Blaine has finally moved on. He's done his 4 years, and we got rid of him. No.
Because Blaine was trying to be a rodeo announcer, or still trying
Yes, yep.
rodeo
Blaine has
announcer for
been
you.
busy. Yeah, he's been busy announcing this year. He's been roping. I've got to watch him in a couple events throughout the summer. But, yeah, he's moved on, graduated after doing 4 different years and got 3 different degrees out of here, so I'm excited for him. And, he's a piece that's missing because the kids are already saying it's way too quiet at practice. So somebody's going to have to start jabbering over the microphone, I think.
Well, you get a sponsor, maybe they could bring him back.
There you go. There you go.
Because I know I saw him over at the Forsyth Rodeo this year.
Yep.
Over there. So, all right, Coach. Sounds good. Exciting. Rodeo is here for the fall, and we got spring coming up. And thanks for coming in. And you're done bullfighting for the year? Or you got
No. I still do a few of these college rodeos. So I double duty at college rodeos. When we're in Glendive, I'll be flanking horses, coaching, fighting bulls, and staying busy. So I don't really rest a whole lot.
Well, you're from Baker, Montana. It's a Baker Spartan run down there. So I guess you're full of energy.
Yes, sir. Yep.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for coming in. And again, I just want to remind our listeners that, Coach, that you are a recipient of the Calvin Boline Memorial Award, which is given to those who uphold a manner of professionalism, mentor up-and-coming athletes, and continue to invest in the sport of rodeo. And, of course, you were the NIA Coach of the Big Sky Region Coach of the Year 2024. Congratulations. Continued success. And we look forward to having you on the Rodeo Randy Show more often. So thanks for coming in today.
You bet. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.